Hi, my name's Selena, and welcome to Bookish and Modish. This month I'm going to be participating in the Reindeer Readathon. It's a month-long readathon that's being hosted by these different booktubers. But Noelle 7 Reads, Break Even Books, Coffee Over Apples, Savvy Writes Books, and I'm on Team Candy Cane, which is being hosted by Amanda at her Pacific Northwest Washington Life. Since we're broken up into teams, this readathon is a point-based readathon, so the prompts that we've been given have been assigned a point value, and so we're trying to help our team get the most points to win the readathon. So this is my first time participating in a readathon that's like this. Most of the ones that I've done have just been for fun, and you just read some books if you're able to. But since I'm on a team, I'm really trying to put together and get motivated this month to read. The readathon has a ton of prompts, one for each reindeer in Santa's sleigh, hence the name. But I've been reading like 2 or 3 books this year, a month. So this is going to be really challenging, and I'm going to try and do it strategically and focus on the highest point value books and get to the other books as I'm able to. So I wanted to go through my TBR. I am a mood reader, like hardcore, so TBRs are really hard for me. But I think the variety that I have on this list will kind of satisfy me as I'm getting different moods throughout the month. Let's get into it. The very first prompt is Dasher, which is a 10-point prompt, and it is a short story or collection of short stories or novella. For this prompt, I'm going to be reading Servant Mercenary Brother, Volume 1 by Selena Gonzalez. This is a short story collection of a side character from her The Mercenary and the Mage series. I really enjoyed this character. It's Dresden Jacobs from that series, and he's a side character, but he's important. But this gives you a lot of background into his relationship with Regulus, who is the main character of The Mercenary and the Mage series. So I'm looking forward to this. 10 points for Dasher. The next prompt is Dancer, and it's 15, and it is a book by one of your favorite authors. And for this prompt, I'm going to be reading The Paper Magician by Charlie Holmberg. I discovered Charlie Holmberg I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Well, I was going through a really rough patch, and her books were just like the perfect escape for me. She does an excellent job of making really deep, magical worlds, and I just always enjoy reading her books. So The Paper Magician follows Sione, who is a young magician, and in this world, the magically inclined are assigned one type of material that they're able to do magic with. So it can be paper, glass, metal, rubber's like a new one, I think, in this world. And so Sione is really disappointed, but she gets assigned paper. So she goes off to learn paper magic and become a paper magician from her mentor, whose name is Emery. However, a flesh magician, this is someone that can do magic on the human body, comes and attacks her mentor. And so she has to use her paper magician prowess to save him from this magician. It is the first in a trilogy. However, this book could kind of read as a standalone if you wanted to, but it's a great entry into her world of the paper magician. So this is for Dancer, 15 points. The next prompt is Prancer, which is 20 points and a book with a travel element in it. So that could be like a quest or a vacation or something. For this one, I'm going to be reading Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This follows a couple that goes on an anniversary getaway. However, there's a lot of lying and secrets between this couple. So this getaway is not exactly what it seems. I've seen a lot of people read this. It was a book of the month a few months ago, and a lot of people were raving about it and enjoyed it. And I think the kind of wintry theme for it is perfect for the holidays, even though it's kind of a thriller, I think. That'll be my book for Prancer, which is 20 points. Our next prompt is Vixen, which is 20 points again. And this is a book that recently caught your eye. And for me, that's going to be The Sanatorium, which is by Sarah Pierce. This book is about a sanatorium that was turned into a hotel, and this detective takes a vacation to this hotel, but something doesn't really feel right, and their fiance is quickly like disappears, so they have to figure out like what happened and find them. It's like it caught my eye because I saw it in a bunch of different like Bookstagram posts, and I was at Target one day, which I hate these little stickers, but I was at Target and I just saw it and I was like, I've been eyeballing this for a while. I might as well pick it up. And that fits the prompt because it's one that you've been recently caught your eye. But the kind of like atmosphere of like this gothic sanatorium kind of thriller in a wintry setting, it just seems like perfect for the holidays. So that'll be my book that I'm going to read for Vixen, which is 20 points. So the next prompt is Comet, which is 15 points, and it's a 5-star prediction read. And for me, that's going to be Ace of Spades, which is by Farida Abike Ayimide. This I've heard described as like a dark academia meets Pretty Little Liars, and that just seems like the perfect combination for me. And I've heard rave reviews, like I've heard nothing but good things about this book, and the cover is stunning, and I just think it's going to be a really great read, and that I'm going to really enjoy it. That'll be the book I'm going to try and read for Comet, which is 15 points. So I'm going to take a quick break real quick and say, this is a lot of books and a lot of these are kind of hefty. And this next one is about to be like super hefty. I'm not expecting to read all of these books. And I think sometimes we can put pressure on ourselves to like create this giant, massive TBR and then we're disappointed, which TBR, if you don't know, means to be read. And it's just a list of books that you're hoping to read throughout the month or throughout the year. And it's totally okay not to complete your TBR. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a mood reader. So I kind of just pick up a book and read it. And if I don't like it, I just put it away and I'll pick it up like 3 or 4 months later. And I have so many books that are like partially read right now. So this kind of readathons kind of might be a little hard for me because it's hard for me to like stick to like a predetermined list. But I'm going to give it a try. And if you're also going through the Reindeer Readathon and you've created this massive TBR that you're a little intimidated about, it's totally okay. We'll get through it and it's fun and it's an opportunity to read new books and discover new authors and get to know new people. And if I am reading any of the books that are also on your TBR this month, let me know. I'd love to do a buddy read. You can reach out to me through YouTube or on Instagram. I'm also bookish and modish there. I'd love to hear what you're reading and if it's similar, if you want to read along with me this month. I'm started with the Servant Mercenary Brother because it was so short. I thought I could get it out the way. And I think this next book that I'm about to talk about for the prompt will probably be the next book that I dive into because it's massive. So that's just my little PSA for the month. And I just wanted to step in and say there's like no pressure. It's supposed to be fun. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't read all these books. This is a massive prompt list, and I felt like I wanted to put and decide and match books because that's fun for me. So that's Unnecessary PSA with Selena. So the next prompt is Cupid for 25 points, which is take a shot at reading a new author. And for me, that's going to be The Prior of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. It's a big one. It's like over 800 pages. However, I know if I get into a book, I can read this in a few days. And this is like one that I've been eyeballing for the longest time. I see it on people's like pictures and stuff on Bookstagram, and it always looks so intriguing to me. And it's been on my shelf forever. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to just dive into it and fall in love because I know I will. This is a fantasy epic that centers around some powerful women within the world. And I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to get into. I just feel like from what I've heard, this is going to be something that really interests me. I love chunky fantasy books, and this is like a women-led fantasy novel, which you don't really see all the time. And I'm just really looking forward to reading it. It's massive, but I'm I'm in college right now and the semester's about to end. And I think with that time off, even though I'm working, I'll have some time to like really dive into this book. So that's going to be Cupid for 25 points. Oh, there's some bonus prompts, which I'm only going to do one this year. But one of the bonus prompts is read, I think it's called Christmas Star for the bonus prompt. And it's an additional 25 points, and it's a book over 500 pages, which this one is. So if I am able to finish this month, this book will earn me 50 points. So that's kind of why I also went with this. So that'll be my book for Cupid, 25 points, and Christmas Star bonus prompt for 25 points. So the next prompt, which I keep starting all these prompts the same exact way, but I can't think of a more creative way to say it, is Donner for 20 points. And it's a book with red or green as the primary color on the cover. And for that, I'm going to read The Collective, which is by Allison Galen. And The Collective is a group of grieving mothers who have lost a loved one. I think most of them have lost children. And they go out and exact revenge by killing people anonymously. So the main character is like not sure if she's on board with this yet, but she's also a mother that's lost a child. So that'll be my pick for Donner, which is 20 points. The next prompt is Blitzen for 30 points, and this is have someone or something randomly pick a book for you. So I had my cat Mickey pick this next book for me. I set out 3 books, and without even prompting him, he just went out and picked one, and he picked If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is a dark academia mystery where a group of theater kids get a little too attached to their onstage personas. And I've been wanting to read this since I finished The Secret History last year. Anytime people talk about The Secret History, they talk about If We Were Villains. Anytime people talk about If We Were Villains, they talk about The Secret History. So I guess there's similar veins in that dark academia kind of like feel, and I'm not sure the writing style, like I peeked a little bit, the writing style seems a bit different than The Secret History, but the story sounds intriguing and I'm really interested in diving in. So that is Blitzen, 30 points. And I don't know why Mickey picked it, but I'm proud of him for going for the dark academia. So yeah. The final prompt is Rudolph for 15 points, and this is a standalone book. For this one, I'm going to read One by One by Ruth Ware. If you don't know, Ruth Ware is kind of known for writing locked room mysteries, and I think this is the latest in her releases. And in this one, a group of people go to a ski resort and people start getting picked off and disappearing one by one. I've always enjoyed her locked room mysteries. Some of them don't hit the same as others. Like I really liked The Woman in Cabin 10, I think it was called. I enjoyed In a Dark, Dark Wood. I did not like The Lying Game. I haven't even finished that one. I just couldn't get into it. But she's really good at making the main character just like this, I don't want to say helpless, but just like putting them through the ringer. So by the time the bad stuff starts happening, they're exhausted. They're like, don't know what's going on. They've been gaslighted. So I don't know if that's a really great Christmas read, but that's what I'm going to read for the Rudolph prompt, which is for 15 points. So that's a lot of books. It's highly unlikely that I'm going to actually read all of these this month. Like I said at the beginning, I have been reading like 2 or 3 books a month, and I'm really lucky if I can get that many. I think in November I read like 1 book, which is fine. I mean, I had a goal of reading like 50 books this year, and I think I'm at like 25, and that's okay. I didn't know how many books I read a month, or a month or a year. So I'm just learning kind of my reading habits this year as I'm getting more involved in Bookstagram and now hopefully with BookTube. And everything's right. Like the amount that you read, the types of books that you read, if you are a mood reader or if you stick to your to be read, if you post every day, if you keep people updated all the time or not, that's like totally fine. Whatever you're doing with your Bookstagram or your BookTube or however you're reading, it's right for you and that's cool. So for me, it's reading a few books a month and not finishing most of the books I start, and that's totally cool. And if I can read all of these books this month, that's gonna be fun and cool, and I'm sure my team will enjoy that because we'll get more points. But yeah, so that's my goal for this month. We'll see what happens. Also for this YouTube channel, this will be my first video, and I'm hoping to have a couple more videos come out. One of them will be the newbie booktube newbie tag, where I talk a little bit more about myself and kind of what I want for this channel. I'm hoping to do a sewing vlog, like really brief one. And then I also did a trip recently that I'm trying to edit, but I've never edited something quite like that before. Never edited any videos, so this will be my first one. We'll see how that goes. So I'm just learning a lot, and I hope that you enjoy the journey with me. So thank you for tuning in and watching the whole entire video, and I hope you have a great December. Have fun participating in the Reindeer Readathon if you do, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!
Got soup.